Hey everybody, welcome to Team Tuesday at All Points North Lodge. I am so excited to be back. If you haven't been here before, my name's Anna. I'm the writer at All Points North Lodge, and I host a segment every Tuesday where I bring on somebody who works with the team at All Points North Lodge, whether it's in Malibu or in Colorado, and we get to chat with that person, see what they do at All Points North Lodge, talk about kind of what their story is, why they're passionate about what they do, and just peek behind the scenes. So the goal here is that if you are thinking about treatment, or if you're I don't know, you work in the industry and you're like, what is All Points North Lodge all about? That you would be able to just experience kind of a peek behind the scenes at what our staff is like. I know that it can feel really intimidating to look at a new place, right? To try to figure out, is this place legit? Can I trust somewhere new with my client or with myself? And that can be a hard decision to make. So what we want to do is give you just a peek behind the scenes, so that you are able to make that decision, knowing not only what our philosophy is, but the value of our people too. We know that relationships is such an important part of therapy. And so to have those great relationships with your staff members are crucial. So today I'm very excited to bring in a recovery advocate for you. So this is Sean Spellman, and he just requested, so I'm going to go ahead and let him in. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Anna? Thanks for having me on.
Good. Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here. This is fun because I've heard all about you, but I've never seen you face to face, met you. So
Good
nice
to
to
see
meet
you.
you.
Yeah. Nice to meet
Yeah.
you too, officially.
Yes, I know. Okay, are you in the lodge right now,
I
by the
am
way?
in the lodge. Yep.
That awesome. So I'll just intro you again here. So this is Sean Spellman. He's a recovery advocate at All Points North Lodge. And so super excited to get to hear a little bit of your story today. So I mean, let's start at the beginning. Where are you from? Where did you grow up? Are you a Colorado native? And how did you get here?
So that's a great question. I moved out here from New Hampshire in 2012, and I was in a treatment center in New Haven, and
Ah,
I was ready to get out of the Northeast, and I grew up in New England. So I was blessed enough to learn how to snowboard out there. Did some USSA events for snowboarding as a young kid when I was a teenager. So really passionate snowboarder. So that's why I moved to Vail. And I came out here with 2 duffel bags, no idea what I was doing, and I've been here for close to 9 years now. So it's pretty wild.
that's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
I think like how often do people think about doing that and then never make that leap? So I think it's
Uh,
really, really cool that you did that.
Thanks. Yeah, I was totally nervous. Had no idea what I was doing. I had this slight plan that I wanted to be a wilderness educator, so I did a semester course with Outward Bound out here. It was 60 days. Climbed all over the state of Colorado, and once that was done, I was like, well, I really have no plans, and I don't want to go back east. So I moved to Boulder, stayed in Boulder. Unfortunately, I didn't stay sober, so I relapsed, and then I moved up to Vail, and I had way too much fun up here, and then I had to get sober again. So
Got it. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Well, if you're up for it, tell us a little bit about kind of your story with getting sober. I imagine that plays a part in why you ended up at All Points North Lodge as a recovery
yeah,
advocate helping other people. So tell us your
yeah.
story.
It's pretty cool. It's funny how my life turned out. I had no plans. I just wanted to ride my snowboard, and drugs and alcohol were really fueling the fire, and always helped motivate me to go bigger on my snowboard and things like that. So I was always under that cunning, baffling sense that alcohol and drugs were working for me in a way. And yeah, my life on the mountain was really good. I was riding close to 100 days a season for a few years, and then off the mountain, I was getting into trouble, and, relationships were falling apart, and just discomfort with my life, and not having a stable place to live. So, issues kept arising. I got into some trouble. Then that was another kind of like shift into, okay, well, maybe I should try getting sober again. Did that for a little while. I couldn't stay sober for very long. It was about 10 months I stayed sober. Relapsed once I was kind of in the clear of the probation system and stuff like that. And then things got bad again. You know, like my disease, my addiction, it is progressively getting worse no matter how long I've stayed sober. You know, like I have to continue to do the work in the program the 12-step program I'm in, to kind of keep that at bay, you know. And, you know, just to fast forward a little bit, I was sober for, I think I was about 18 months sober, and I was playing on a sober softball league in Vail. And one of our therapists, Dustin Straight, was out there, and I just met him, and him and I kicked it off, and he was like, let me know if you want a job up at APN. And I was like, yeah, I'll think about it. And, you know, sure enough, a few months later went by, and I was like, I'd always wanted to work in recovery and behavioral health and things like that. So, you know, I was like, maybe I'll do this. And sure enough, I've been here since November. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's a super meaningful job. I meet incredible people, and I'm learning a lot, you know, and it's what it's all about, you know. So I'm really grateful to be up here.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, there's like so many things we could unpack in there. First of all, I think it's fascinating to get to interview people who are like clean or sober now, that are on our staff, because all the stories they're so unique. Like everybody's journey, everybody's reason why they started drugs and alcohol, why they continued their difficulties with like staying sober. It's all so unique. Like I had never even considered that like using drugs or alcohol may have, for like extreme sports, can help minimize
Yeah.
fear, you know? And so that, I mean, I imagine that's a big driver for people, and I had never thought about that before.
Yeah,
Um,
it really is, you know, especially in Vail too. Like this is a party town, you know, it's a ski town, and it's very accepted up here to, you know, be drinking on the mountain at 10 o'clock in the morning, you know, and all day. And,
yeah.
you know, and so actually when I got sober in 2017 in November. I took a whole year off of snowboarding. I didn't ride at all. One reason, we didn't have any snow. So that was a big reason. And then two, I just wasn't comfortable. You know, I was like, I've been riding my whole life. I'm just going to take a step back and focus on me. And, you know, I was going to a lot of meetings. I was working the steps a lot, and I just wanted to get better. You know, my desperation at that time fueled me to stay sober, you know, and the hope was there. And, you know, and I'm grateful that there's those programs out here. I wasn't blessed enough to go to treatment this time. After I went to treatment the first time, it was an extended care. So I was there for a long time. My folks were like, you got to figure it out. And so luckily, you know, desperation kind of helped me out, and I knew where to go. You know, the treatment center I went to, they planted a lot of seeds. Though I didn't stay sober, you know, there were seeds that were planted, so I knew where to go. And especially when things stopped, you know, were not so hopeful. And so this community up here is rock solid with sobriety as well. You know, you find like some of the biggest party areas are going to have a lot of good sobriety. So, you know, so I locked back into that program and just took it one day at a time since then. And my life is pretty awesome today. I'm really grateful. I just went on a 12-mile mountain bike ride before I came into work. You know, Colorado offers some amazing amenities, and I'm grateful that I'm sober now and I can take advantage of a lot of that stuff, because, you know, beforehand I wasn't, you know, I had no idea what to do. And
Yeah,
I was always hurting and never had any money, and now my life has come together really nicely. So I'm super happy.
that's amazing. And it's so cool. I mean, it's kind of cool that you got like hooked up at APN too, because especially with Dustin, because he's like heading up that experiential therapy and like, you know, that therapy and mountain biking and all that stuff. And since you said you had kind of dabbled in becoming like a wilderness guide and that sort of thing, it's like
Yeah.
that, you know, that is a little sweet spot for you too, probably.
Yeah, it is. And this winter was amazing. You know, was working side by side with Dustin, doing a lot of experiential stuff, and I am, you know, in that direction with APN. I like taking clients outside of treatment, you know, bringing them to the mountain, taking them on hikes, going to, you know, different outfits to outdoor outfits to go to like ATVing and things like that. So there's a lot of cool activities that we do plan up here for our clients. And then I get to enjoy them too. So like, that's always awesome. But my biggest one is definitely taking the clients on the mountain every winter. And in this year, this past winter before COVID, you know, we were going twice a week. So, and some clients were even getting in a quick break after their group therapy and things like that. So, you know, it was awesome. And I'm just happy about it. You know, it's great. I'm always ecstatic when I'm on the mountain. You know, it's another side of me that comes out. And, you know, just having some one-on-one conversations on the ski lift are super impactful to some of those that are in treatment, working on some heavy stuff, you know, and to bring light to it and to give them a break from that, it's really, really impactful on their recovery. So I like to say that I'm here at APN to show clients how to have fun in sobriety.
I know that's so true. And just like you were saying, like the difficulty of there can be a difficulty of leaving your former life because you're like, well, what do I do now? Like when you've used drugs and alcohol to have, you know, fun in the past, it can be like hard to come out of that and find like new hobbies and new purpose. So like, it's really cool that you get to do that. Help them not only, you know, process some of the things they're going through and have those ski lift talks, but like you've been on both sides of like using drugs and alcohol while you're on the mountain, and then like probably relearning how to have like fun and experiences sober too. So to be with them on that journey as they're learning that too is awesome.
It really is awesome. And it's great to see them smiling and just having a good time, you know, and that's what it's really all about. Because some people, the stigma of like, oh, I'm going to get sober, I'm never going to have fun again, you know, and that's not what this is about. You know, I have way more fun in sobriety than I ever had really while I was getting, you know, impaired.
Yeah, gosh, that's so important. I feel like we should use that. Like I'm like taking mental notes so we can, you know, make ads about that and talk about that in our content.
Yeah.
No, that's so good. But I feel like there's so much more we could talk about, but I think we've covered our time here for today. So I may bring you back on in the future.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Sean, so much. I think what you have to offer to the clients at the Lodge is really important. And I hope that people who are considering treatment or even like considering sobriety and feel intimidated, I hope that they watch this and are encouraged that there's light on the other side and there's fun on the other side too, in a fuller way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Sean, thank you so much. And everybody who's watching or watches this on playback, thanks for joining us for Team Tuesday. If you ever have any questions for our team, or if you want to talk to somebody like Sean who can help you kind of navigate getting into treatment so that you can hang out with Sean at treatment, give us a call or visit our website or DM us on here. That works too. And we will see you next week on Team Tuesday. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Hannah. Bye.
Bye.